Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Would you come on in here and sit down with me? This is your home for organic Bible study that's artisanally made just for you. It's fresh every day, responsibly handled and locally sourced. That's Daily Dose Radio. So come on in here with me and open your Bibles up, and we're going to read today Psalm 140, verses 6 through 8. I think what we have here in 6 through 8 is kind of like a break. You know, we've had two requests already, and they've both been about the evil man and about the evil that exists. And this, again, is the voice of the church. That's how I've identified this. And it's just not me. The voice of the church as an identification for this psalm goes way back in church history. The ancient fathers saw this as the voice of the church long ago, long before I came around. That's for certain. So I'm just borrowing from them. And the church is persecuted and it's under fire in this world. But then we come to 6 and 7, and it's almost like a glass of cold lemonade on a hot summer day. It's refreshing. Because here we have, and you can clearly hear David's voice in this. So let me, before I, give you the whole bale of hay, let me ask you to look now at 6, 7, and 8 in Psalm 140, and we'll read those together. You ready? Okay, so here we go. Verse 6, I said unto the Lord, Thou art my God. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord. O God the Lord, the strength of my salvation, Thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. Grant not, O Lord, the desires of the wicked, further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves. Selah. Okay, well, that's verses 6, 7, and 8. And as I said, you'll notice how refreshing this is. This is a confession of faith. It's also praise to the Lord. And you'll notice the Lord's name's used here so often in this one. We have it in verse 6 twice. We have it in verse 7. And then we have it again in verse 8. So the psalmist is really leaning into his relationship with the Lord. And he just blurts out almost in a kind of praise, You're my God. So there's nowhere else I can go. I've got these problems, but You're my God. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord. It's a request, but it's almost like, John leaning on the breast of Jesus at the supper. It's an intimate desire. Hear the voice of my supplications, which is never in doubt. The Lord does hear. And then he says in 7, O God the Lord, the strength of my salvation. Isn't that beautiful? The strength of my salvation. So no matter where I am, no matter what's going on, we can go all the way back to Psalm 139. Remember 2 weeks ago we talked about him on that journey. We took a field trip and we saw all the places in heaven and hell out in the middle of the sea. The Lord's everywhere. It doesn't matter where I go, even into the darkness. He's there, and he leads me, and he holds me. And then here he says, You're the strength of my salvation. So it's this confident confession. It's a loving declaration. It's an affirmation of, what the Spirit of God is doing in the heart of this psalmist. He says, You've covered my head in the day of battle. Yeah, strength of my salvation and my covering. The Lord is keeping him no matter what. And again, the voice of the church. What does the church say to the Lord? You've kept us. You've kept us in the day of battle. You've kept us when we were good. You've kept us when we were bad. You've kept us against the evil. You've kept us against the corruption of our own hearts. You're the one who's done the work. And then we come in verse 8 to the next and the last petition that he makes, and that is, here in 8, Grant not, O Lord, the desires of the wicked, further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves, Selah. And again, the Selah means to pause, consider, meditate. Grant not the desires of the wicked, O Lord. So, The Lord's name again is used here. And you'll notice in each one of these requests, in verse 1, in verse 4, and then here again in 8, the request, deliver me, keep me, grant, or give not to the wicked. And each one of those times, he invokes the Lord's name. O Lord, he says. Capital L-O-R-D, because remember, this is the Tetragrammaton. This is his name, the name he gave to Moses at the bush. This is his name. Grant not, O Lord, the desire of the wicked. That's his next request. So keep me from, or deliver me from them, keep me from them, and don't give them what they want. So now the Lord is working in the heart of the wicked to do this work, because if the Lord doesn't, well, then they'll get all prideful and exalt themselves and think they're somebody. And what they need is humility, so that they will seek him out and call on him. All right, join me again tomorrow, and we're going to look at verses 9, 10, and 11 here on Daily Dose Radio.